Thanks for tuning in to the HRchat Podcast. Hey, this is Bill Banham, one of the hosts of the show. Just before we get into today's episode, here's a quick message from one of our supporting partners.
We get people. We know what they want from work, why they join, why they leave, why they stay. We get tech, and we understand that it's never the whole solution. At Talent Solutions RPO, we work across every industry and talent market in the world. In the end, it's people who make the difference. Let Talent Solutions RPO help you get the people your organization needs. Visit mpgtalentsolutions.com/HRchat to learn more.
Welcome to the HRchat Show, one of the world's most downloaded and shared podcasts designed for HR pros, talent execs, tech enthusiasts, and business leaders. For hundreds more episodes and what's new in the world of work, subscribe to the show, follow us on social media, and visit hrgazette.com.
Hey everyone, it's Trap Recruiter back again with another TA Week recap. I am very excited to be joined today by my guest, Backman, who is a passionate advocate within the people and talent community, championing reasonable, scalable, and ethical practices that elevate and positively impact the communities we serve. Aaron dedicates his time to debunking myths and sharing valuable insights on topics such as LGBTQ issues, mental health, and contemporary recruitment strategies. Coming to us all the way from the West Coast, Seattle, Washington. And also, I'm going to put a little personal spin in it. One of my plant godparents, because Aaron has taught me a great deal about taking care of my plant babies. Aaron, please introduce yourself to the folks.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Keirsten. I appreciate that kind introduction. I don't think I really have a whole ton to add other than I've been in this field across human resources. Talent acquisition is kind of this specialty that I've really kind of honed in on throughout my 15-year career. I am absolutely a plant daddy. Thank you so much for that. I know I've helped a couple of our peers in the talent community, so it's a fun kind of side thing that I do in addition to this. So excited to be here talking about TA Week.
Great. So you were both a participant and a presenter, and I have you here today to talk about employer branding strategies. So as an employer branding strategies attendee, what does employer branding mean to you?
This is a really great question, and I think it can be a little ambiguous for people, really an ethereal concept. So when I think about employer branding, it's really at its core is about understanding the unique DNA of our organizations, our people, and their practices. So it's about translating this understanding of ourselves and who we are today, distilling it into clear, consistent, direct messaging that we're using to attract talent, as well as engage, motivate, and develop our existing employees. So it's this holistic, the entire life cycle focus. It's not just about recruitment. It's an interdisciplinary skill set. We have to have a business mindset, and we have to collaborate across functions in order to execute and meet our goals. So it's a big thing, and it can mean different things at different sized organizations too. So that's another complexity of the space.
WorkBright is an onboarding and recruitment platform for HR and recruitment teams. And we're pleased to support this episode of the HRchat Show. Our team is on a mission to ease administrative burdens and form I-9 pain for HR professionals. WorkBright's market share in the onboarding space has been increasing exponentially in an uncertain I-9 world. In her tenure with the business, WorkBright has achieved triple bottom line status as a B Corp and consistently places on Outside Magazine's best places to work with strong financial results of 40% YOY growth and profitability. Learn more at workbright.com. And now, back to the show.
That was a very comprehensive definition and one that I wasn't quite expecting. And it actually gave me some new insights into what employer branding is. And one of the things you pointed out, I do tend to look at it through only a recruitment lens. So I appreciate you pointing out that it is an interdisciplinary practice and strategy that we should be employing within our organizations. Why was it important for you as a TA pro to be in attendance on day 2?
That's a great question as well. I really liked day 2 and the structure of the sessions because it's really important to shine a light on these aspects that we don't necessarily see when we're in these startup, small business, or mid-market spaces. Like I kind of alluded to already, it's a little daunting when you're already feeling under-resourced and like you've kind of already done everything you could possibly think of in your talent acquisition strategy. So seeing this perspective from the consultants who help organizations of every side, as well as, direct perspective from these Fortune 500s who have gone through the various journeys to get where they are. It's really illuminating, and it can kind of help you identify what your path to that place might look like. And I think one of the things I really enjoyed was during the keynote session, really liked that the speaker focused for a minute on what this employer branding competency can mean for you as a professional and your career. Too often in these conferences, we only focus on what the benefits are for our organizations, which, their success is our success as well. But we do have to think about, who am I as a talent acquisition professional or HR professional or employer branding, whatever, your competency may be. And like, what are the things I want to know? What are the things I want to develop? What are these other aspects of this space that I don't necessarily know about? And giving us a clear picture of what those things look like.
As you alluded to, the day was filled with learning opportunities with topics ranging from the bottom line on employer branding, researching and creating talent personas, attracting job seekers with video, employer value proposition, and much more. What was your favorite session of the day and why?
I'm a sucker for a session that really kind of focuses on the tactical things that you can take home and execute on later that day or the next day without having to, hire a consultant and go through huge amounts of institutional thought energy on. So really for me, it was the effectively managing a social media page for employer branding. I think that this is like a really important space. It's continuously evolving. And one of the messages from that particular session that is really important is about knowing where the people you're trying to communicate with are and not trying to make something fit that doesn't fit. It's when you're recruiting truck drivers, they are probably not on LinkedIn. So if you're a trucking and transportation company and you almost exclusively hire the driving type talent, does it really benefit you to put a lot of effort into a social strategy on LinkedIn? No, it may be better to focus on other avenues, like one of Meta's properties or, X or one of the other things that are out there where they are more likely to be. And we can direct our efforts, our money, resources, everything there. So I really liked that aspect of it. Tactical. That's what a lot of us out there like. You're like, just tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do. And that resonates with me because that was me, especially earlier in my career.
I love that. Just tell me what to do. I feel that way most days. Now, you may have just told us, but in the event that you didn't, what was your biggest takeaway from the day?
I think if you are really to synthesize the entire day, the takeaway for me is that this is going to look differently at every organization and that it is an iterative process. You are not going to come out of the gate at your ideal state. You are going to consistently work towards it. I am of the mindset that we are continuously improving. So we're never actually going to get to that ideal state because it's going to constantly change as we grow, develop, and mature. So I think that is a really important takeaway from the day. And it's something that we can forget as we want to be perfectionists. We want to put out into the world that perfect thing. But, often the 80% is good enough. And that's what we need to ship. So I think that was a message included in the day that I hope other people took away.
Thanks for tuning in to the HRchat Podcast. The way you plan, administer, and track compensation plans matters to your company and employees. CompTrax is part of HRSoft, and our compensation management solution gives you a highly configurable platform designed to support and evolve with you over time. Break free from manually intensive processes and spreadsheets and elevate compensation planning with data-driven decision-making for managers, HR, and executives. Compensation strategy is unique to the DNA of your organization. Make sure your HR technology is up for the task. Learn more at comptrack.com. And now, back to the HRchat show.
In what ways can employer branding improve hiring strategies for neurodivergent talent?
Ooh, this is a great question. And it's, near and dear to my heart. And I think it ties back to my initial definition of employer branding and understanding that unique DNA of your organization, who you are, your practices. And this is everything from how you interact with one another. So, missions, values, EVPs, they can often be aspirational and not necessarily an indicative picture of who you are today. So I think that employer branding kind of forces you to take a look at who you are and how do we really treat people? What is our environment actually like? And you can identify maybe we aren't the best place for neurodivergent talent. And maybe that's something we should take a look at how we can improve. So by doing this thought work, this introspection, this evaluation, and continuous analysis, we have the ability to understand ourselves better and have the ability to research how we would be able to interact with these different populations better. So yeah, there's lots that can be done, but it's really that understanding, that research process, which this is a really heavy research heavy space.
Thank you for that. I have so enjoyed our conversation. It has flown by though, and we don't like to keep folks too long. So I'm just going to ask you to close out with, where can we learn more about you?
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn. It's Aaron Backman, Aaron Backman. I am, fairly active out there. I have plenty of time on my hands these days, and really, I'm just kind of open to having conversations with people about this whole space. I never stop talking about it.
Thank you so much for bringing the attendee perspective to the TA Week recap. We truly appreciate you, Aaron. Everyone, make sure you tune in for the next episode, day 3, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks for listening to the HRchat show. If you enjoyed this episode, why not subscribe and listen to some of the hundreds of episodes published by HR Gazette? And remember, for what's new in the world of work, subscribe to the show, follow us on social media, and visit hrgazette.com.